We wanted to tell you our story.
There's just one thing.
You're gonna find it hard to believe.
We have explored every medical option. You couldn't have tried harder.
Tonight, let's have a kid.
You heard what the doctor said. Give it up.
Our kid would never give up.
Picasso with the pencil. Honest to a fault.
Yes. Our kid would rock.
Now what? We're moving on.
Okay, Jen, so I'm not a parent.
It's okay.
I know it's okay, but I know you're a mom, so I want to know about Jen as the mom. What kind of mom is Jen?
Oh, it evolves all the time. I mean, with my first child, I was a little more like Cindy Green in this movie, who is just obsessively trying to make sure her child is happy at every moment and control his environment and make sure that he has everything he might possibly need, just a little bit neurotic, as many first-time moms can be. And then you kind of learn to let go of some of that when you're working the hardest, sometimes you're making it the hardest for your child, and just to let them be a bit, and you just chill out a bit. So now I'm a little more, I went from having a diaper bag packed with 15 diapers and 10 changes of clothes and every kind of rash cream to throwing a diaper in my purse and being like, yeah, we'll figure out the rest, it's good.
You're like, he can hitchhike.
Yeah, he's good, yeah.
Watching this film, I couldn't help but, I'm not a parent. I know you're not a parent. And I know you've said that, this made you kind of think about being a parent, but tell me about making this film and thinking about parenthood.
Well, look, I've always thought about being a parent. I always had this idea that I would always be one. Sometimes I'm surprised that I'm not already one, and I'm disappointed at myself.
That you know of.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. But this movie sort of reflected a lot to me about my own childhood and my own relationship, particularly with my father, because my character has some serious issues with his own father in the film. I, however, don't, but it just made me think, it's interesting, my father's very expressive in lots of ways, but Australian men don't often use a lot of words to express their feelings. And it was one of the things I took from the movie. It's like, it could be better relationships with parents and children. And parents can, get out of the way of their children a little bit more and let them grow up to be their own thing.
Was this kind of, self-reflexive in a way for you? Did it maybe make you think about things you've done in the past?
Oh, very much. I mean, when I, started writing this, I felt like this was a great opportunity to make something useful out of some of the parental crimes I committed. Being over-involved in my kids' activities, over-invested in whether they win or lose, trying to protect them from disappointment. Almost everything wonderful that happens in life is born out of some kind of failure or some kind of setback. I mean, all the stories we love are people who overcome incredible odds to achieve, something. Mm-hmm. So why should our lives be different? Why should our lives just be without conflict and struggle? It's just, are we going to be about the things that matter? Are we going to be frivolous and silly? Are we going to be substantial? And I felt like, I was able to look at myself and maybe even make some changes in how I parent and how I husband and how, I'm going to turn that into a verb, and how I friend and how I do all the, and the child I still am to my parents, or not a child anymore, but the person I am. So all of that came into play in writing this, and I felt like the more personal I made the film, and the more it cost me to write emotionally, and the more it amused me, the more it surprised me and scared me, the better chance I had that it might, touch someone in the audience.
Honey! There's something you need to see.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Timothy.
54 girl names on the list.
And
one boy, and it was Timothy.
There's something you need to know about me. I came from the Garner.
Where did he come from?
It was all very sudden, and
kind of miraculous. So you all came from your mom's tummies? Yeah. How was that?
Being a young guy yourself, you know, having, you know, Jen and Joel as your parents in the film, you know, the film was a lot about parenting. Does it ever make you think about when you get older, years down the line, what kind of parent you would be?
It makes me think that because I don't want to be like always on my children's, like always on the case and stuff. I want to be covering their back if they're in trouble, but I'm not going to be all over them.
What character that you've played in the past would make an awesome mom and why?
Ooh, that's a really great question. I mean, who have I played in the past? Electra would not be such a great mom. She kills people. I guess Sydney. I mean, Sydney can do everything, so she could be a mom. She was a mom at the end, right? Yeah. Well, sort of, but yeah.
Do you brag about your kids? Are you one of the moms that kind of, you know, brags about kids?
To my mom, I do. I mean, yeah, my girlfriends and I, we all talk about our kids. We're all proud of them. We love them like crazy.
What character that you've played in the past would make an awesome parent and why?
Wow. Well, I think Jim definitely would make an awesome parent. I think he shows that by the end of the movie. And I think, I like to think that my character Baz in Animal Kingdom would have been a good dad if they'd have let him live. I hope to think that all the fathers, I've never played a father that I think is a terrible father. You know, Brendan in Warrior, I think was a great dad.
What kind of dad are you going to be?
Very good. I really hope. It's funny, you know, I like to say those things, but I can't tell you anything until I've walked in those shoes. But I would back myself, put it that way.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the kind of dad that's not going to be overprotective, but enough that my children will be safe.
And working with Jen and Joel, what was that like? Any fun experiences on set? Any fun outtakes, moments?
I think it's funny was when one of the scenes where Joel had a long monologue and I wasn't laughing because it was late and I was tired, and so he said instead of all the things I wanted to build, he said all the things he wanted to burn down.
I think this film is more than about being a parent or being a family. It's about making. That, you know, we're in a really hard time economically. There's a whole theme in the film about the factory in town that makes pencils and it makes clothes. And I think one of the big themes that I wanted to put out was that it's important that we be making. You know, make a family, make work, make a life. Be creative, be kind. Remember that we only have so much time. You know, the great movies, the movies I love, remind me the fragility of life, the preciousness of life, that we're running out of time. We only get so much time. And I think and I have friends who don't have children, who don't even want children, you know, who have been moved by the film because they've been able to see that their parent, we all have parents, you know. We may not like them, or we may wish they were a bit different. But so I think that's also there. But ultimately it's this theme of making and how we need to get making again.
What would you like to grow out of the ground if you could grow anything?
Well, right now I'd like to grow some flippin' vegetables because something is eating all my tomatoes and all I seem to be able to grow is jalapenos. And what good is 50 jalapenos if you can't even grow some tomatoes? So
Wow.
I'd be happy with just that.
You got a green thumb.
Yeah, something is enjoying my green thumb, and I think it's a squirrel. I wish I had a BB gun. Not really, but sort of.
I decided our son would not be seen as different. He'd be treated like a normal kid.
Have a great day.
It's too much pressure.
Have the day you have.
Incredible. This isn't gonna work, is it?
No.
Make a wish, take a chance, make a change, and break away.
You're not the only one with a secret.
Really? Out of the darkness and into the sun. I won't forget all the ones that I love.
I never thought I'd hear that last
Take
year.
a chance, make a change, and break away.
This is how I really felt.
You know that he's different. Yeah, that's what I like about him.
That little guy of yours, he's something special.
He's our something unexpected, our little miracle.